What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another Live to Roll Live. This week we are here hanging out talking about some just adaptive rec fun activities to do. I'm supposed to be joined by our friend Robert here, but he was having some technical difficulties, so hopefully he'll hop on here in a second. We'll get into a couple of quick intros. We're going to actually give a little life update real quick on everybody, or just what we've been up to, and maybe say happy birthday to these two guys. And then,
Hey,
yeah, so like I said, my name's Shawn. I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident 18 years ago. Tom, take it out.
what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Conaway, C6 quadriplegic, and yeah, coming at you from beautiful sunny SoCal. What's up, Bobby? You want to take it away, birthday boy?
Nah, both of us. Happy birthday to you too. What's up, everyone? Happy birthday to Tom and everybody who has October birthdays if you're a Libra. So I had mine the other day. Bobby Rohan, C5, C6. I should probably just say what you do, C6, right, Tom? I don't know.
I
C5,
know we all need
C6.
to get our official Asia update things, I guess, apparently, so we can be official like
I
Tom.
don't. I've never had the Asia scale done on me, so that was way before my time. But C5, C6 here in Southern California as well with these boys, loving every minute. And before, hopefully, Robert will join us. But let's get with our sponsors, our main love.
Yeah, we could do that. Tom, do you mind doing that today? Oh, there we go. There's
Nah,
Robert
I got
joining.
you.
Here's Robert actually,
All
real quick.
right, let's welcome Robert in real quick.
Yeah,
Here we go.
there he's
What's
on.
up, Mr. Soto?
What's up,
Hey, how
Robert?
you guys doing?
Good, good. How are you, boss?
Just battling the computer. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's one of those days where everything is just like really slow moving on it. So, but I'm glad to be here.
Awesome,
Well,
man.
we're
Thanks for
super happy
joining,
to have you,
Robert.
dude. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you mind taking a second to just introduce yourself? We're just getting started doing our little
All right.
intros.
Okay. My name is Robert. I'm a T12 injury. It's
This is
1974, so
number
I'm closing in on 49
26.
years post injury.
Sorry, I'm gonna
All
fix that right
right,
now.
that's about as
Give me a second to
long.
fix Robert's camera.
Yeah, we'll get
There
the
we go.
camera. That's
Gotcha.
about as long as anybody I know is like been in a chair. I think like 49, 50 years. That's a while, Robert. You must know
Yeah,
your way around those wheels.
yeah. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. There's no doubt about that.
Um, thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. But yeah, we did celebrate some birthdays over the weekend. I think on what was it, Friday? It was your birthday, Bobby,
What was it?
or
Thursday.
Thursday? It was
Thursday.
the
Yeah,
6th.
Thursday.
Yeah. Um, and can you tell us how old you turned?
No,
No.
no. I,
All right, all
let's
right, all
say,
right. I
let's
just
just
thought
say
I'd
it's
ask.
let's just say it's almost as been as or it's a little over what Robert's been hurt. So I just turned 51. I had the big 50 if anyone remembers. I did my half marathon last year on my 50th. Now it's just all downhill from there. um, we're gonna do a show what I did on my birthday uh, coming up, so we'll talk about it. It's a pretty big topic, and Tom and I would love to dive into it and get all our facts straight before we present it. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we could. That's a big one. I think it's an important one. It's always kind of an
Yeah.
interesting topic too. Like we don't. I don't like to talk too much about, things that aren't here, aren't meaningful for us right now. But the fact of
Yeah.
the matter is that like things have changed. Things have changed drastically in the last like 5 years specifically when it comes to this kind of research, this kind of treatment and stuff. And Bobby's got some, personal experience with it too now. So we really excited to touch on that. And I'm like try. I messaged Dr. Wise Young too. Like he just posted his personal email on the CareCure website. But man, I would love, love, love to have a conversation with him because like the studies that he's been doing over in China, they're had to repeat here in the U.S. because the FDA like didn't trust the international studies. They wanted to test the efficacy of the study by having him like repeat it here again, but they did, and they're like really on the brink of doing like this with long-term quads and stuff in the next couple of years, like human trials, things like that. It's really, really crazy, really wild. But like Bobby said, we'll that's just a little
Yeah,
teaser. We'll
it's
touch on
yeah,
that
it's a big
later.
topic, and for anybody that not knowing what we're talking about, it's just basically stem cells. So we'll talk about that because I know for a lot of young people, it's definitely, when you first get hurt, you're hearing about stem cell and you're hearing about it in other countries and what they're trying to get here. And we have this FDA process that it takes longer than most places. So we have those challenges, but I didn't do it for spinal cord. I did it for health reasons. And we'll dive into that more and what it all entailed.
Yep,
Yeah, we'll have a full
sounds
show topic
good.
on that coming up soon here.
What's up,
For
Roy?
sure.
What's up, Willie? Thanks for joining
Yeah, what's
us,
up, Will?
everybody. And
And
yeah, so if you guys want to, we said we are going to do a little life update. So I don't know
here,
if you
let's
want to
do
go
real
ahead,
quick. We're actually
Bobby.
about to do the sponsors before Robert popped on,
Oh,
and if
snap.
you don't mind
Yeah,
doing that, and then
yeah, no, I got
I'll
you.
tell why I want you to do that right now, and why I'm not going to talk much during the show once we do life updates. But
Yeah, no, you're good.
if you want to throw
Um,
a little,
Definitely. Let's just give a big shout out to our sponsors, Mobility Pros. Got to hang out with our buddy Dean this weekend from Mobility Pros and play some baseball against him, but we'll talk about that a little later. We had a lot of fun. And they are so Mobility Professionals is a company out here in Southern California, and they specialize in adaptive recreation equipment, specifically wheelchairs and other similar devices, and not adaptive recreation equipment, just recreation or rehabilitation devices. Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up here. But uh, you know, if you are in need of a wheelchair, if you are just starting the process, need to get into a wheelchair, they specialize in rehabilitation equipment and will take care of you, whatever those needs may be. They're Southern California based, but their sister company, Urology Professionals, specializes in urology supplies, catheters, you name it. They got you when it comes to that stuff, and they are national. If you give them a call, let them know Live Troll sent you, or just say what up. I need some help. They will look at your situation, work with your insurance, and take care of you whatever you need. And they're a national company, so anybody can reach out if you are local to the U.S. and say what up. But we're really thankful for them, and we're not just saying it because they're our sponsors, but they're our friends. They're part of our
yeah.
community and do a ton to support our community. Um, I'm sorry. Hey, uh, I got someone at my door. Do me
Well,
a
let's
favor. I'm
yeah,
really
we can
sorry, you guys.
go
Go
grab
ahead and
that,
take this
Tom,
for a
and
second.
That's cool. Yeah, we can
let's
do
do
a
some.
couple.
We'll do some updates, and
Okay.
let's start with you, Shawn, because I know you just probably want to get that out of the way and give a little bit of get that out of the way, and then you can stop talking when everyone hears what's going on with you.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I had just actually last week went to Texas for my brother's wedding, which was really fun. Had a great time with my brothers. Um, but not only managed to give myself a UTI during the travel, not sleeping and everything, but I also picked up COVID along the way. So I'm like double whammied right now. My whole body is just hurt so bad, and my throat is kind of bothering me from the COVID. And honestly, the COVID's not that bad, but the combo and everything, I'm just having a lot of body aches and different stuff. Not feeling the best, really low energy, and talking for long periods of time isn't the easiest. So yeah, I'm not going to talk as much today. I'm going to just kind of let these guys do their thing. I'm going to do the most of the producing in the show here. So, yeah, just bear with me for this week, guys. Thank you. And yeah, but I did have a great time with my brothers. Congratulations to my brother Scott, and Ruby, his wife. And so, yeah.
Well,
So,
Shawn, thanks for that quick update, and we hope you feel better quick. And
Thanks.
let,
are you boosted, Shawn? Do you have the
I
booster?
yeah, no, I am. I got boosted and everything. And honestly, I don't even think it would have hit me, really, except for the fact that I was sleeping like 4 to 5 hours a night, like in my chair all day, like drinking beers and not drinking waters, and so just my immune system was way down. I was weakened, just entire. The UTI started hitting me, I think, and just like, whatever. If I did get exposed to, I think just having all that lowered immunity and stuff just kind of let it hit me more than
Yeah.
it should have. Um, but because I've been actually in close contact with people with COVID like multiple times, and I've kind of laughed about it. Like I can't believe how like I've never, and then yeah, my dumbass got it now. So, but I do think it was because my body was just so depleted.
Well, like I said, John, let's hope you recover quick and get some rest. So after this, definitely get back with lots of sleep and drink lots and lots of water. Ben, thank you so much for that super chat and the birthday wishes. That's very cool of you. But
Get you, Benny boy.
let's go to our guest, Robert. Robert is part of our family, and I'm excited that on October 27th, Robert and I are going to be having is that right, Sean? 27th, we're going to be doing it. I think it
is that the fourth Thursday of the month? I think Tuesday. It is.
So the second and fourth Tuesday, Robert and I are going to be doing a like a half an hour show called "Rolling Over the Hill" for us old guys, as Robert mentioned. He had some years, and I'm up there, so I think with the both of us, it's almost 80 years. So, but Robert, what have you been up to? And tell us, maybe a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah, I just kind of been taking it easy and getting some things done around the house. Since I've been spending more time here, I'm just kind of sprucing up the place. I've had the house for years and years and never really been into it until the last few years when since the pandemic started, spending more time at home. So I'm just kind of fixing things up and updating things, just mostly for myself. And it's kind of like a hobby now. Just that I need the money to support that hobby nowadays. But other than that, everything's been going good. I've been going down to the beach, hanging out with some friends there, and having a few cocktails, and just the beach weather is just it's ideal. So I always just enjoy being down there, no matter what I'm doing.
Dang, I hear when we talk a lot, you're always in your garden. So tell us about your garden. You're doing something with the garden, right?
Well, yeah. I'm just doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's like not just one thing. It's windows for the house, just shutters, and working in the yard. And, it's funny because I never really cared working in the yard, but I go out there. It's just like a therapeutic thing, just to piddle around in the yard. I get up in the morning, get out there. It's fresh. It's not hot yet, and I just do a few things, clean up the backyard, work in the planter a little bit, but. I never thought I'd be into it, but it is therapeutic though.
And I think that can be a little bit of a segue. Like we don't have to jump into the whole adaptive recreation thing right now, but gardening is one of my favorite adaptive recreation activities. It can be a difficult one in the sense that, especially if you're in a power chair, it's like, how the heck do I get my hands down in the ground? And there are ways to navigate gardening, just using planter boxes or, using pots that are set up higher and stuff like that. But Robert's another great example too. He's not in a power chair, but, still has to navigate using a manual chair like in the garden, which is probably not the easiest terrain to navigate.
But the thing is you can set it up the way what your needs are. I mean, there's still the things I can't reach and all that, and the planter's maybe a little bit lower and it's a little bit of a reach, and so I'm still cautious because I don't want to bail out of the chair. But it's something that, like you said, you can put planter boxes, above ground planter boxes, something easy to access. So it's really whatever you want to do.
My brother, for his senior project, built a accessible planter box at our community garden. And it was super awesome, and it was super fun to go dig my hands in the soil and plant some stuff. But it can also be kind of a physical activity too, especially if you're, sitting there with the trowel digging and, doing the whole thing, because, you end up spending a while out there, and it's just a lot of moving and shaking, but kind of a non-traditional, not necessarily athletic sport thing, but can still be, a good way to, move your body.
Yep, I agree.
Well, Robert, thanks for giving us that update. Tom,
where are you at, Robert? You said
I'm in San Dimas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over by Cal Poly Pomona.
I want to come and have a cocktail by the beach where you're talking about. Let's
go. Yeah. That is Newport. I go to Newport for that. I have friends out there.
That's my way. You got to come my way, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby, I'm there. Well, sorry about that little interruption, you guys. catheter gods must have been listening because I was doing the Urology Pros ad and my catheters got delivered. And I got all these big boxes. The guy had to bring into my tiny, tiny
You're like,
apartment.
put it here, put it
Um,
here, put it here.
yeah, so apologies for that. Thanks for bearing with me for a second. Um, but I guess I could do my little life update now. Just turned 30, people. Ugh, getting up there. But what do they say? 30 and thriving. I'm excited for it. It's cool. Feels
There you go, bro.
good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited for what the next decade and what the next couple of decades have to bring for me. I don't still feel like a big kid. Don't really feel that much older, but it's cool. It's nice to enter the new decade. 30 times around the sun feels all right. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm really excited for this Rolling Over the Hill show. Not that I'm necessarily rolling over the hill yet, but I'm definitely feeling in the last couple of years aging with disability, how that affects us. I think it's like a really, really important topic that is not spoken about enough amongst our community with doctors, by doctors, the medical community. And it's something that I think a lot of people are facing. I don't know. I think maybe it's just that people, individuals. I don't know. Robert's been doing this thing for 50 years. Like I know a lot of pairs and quads that have been in the chair for a long time, but um, I just haven't really read a lot of literature about aging with disability and how that affects us. Maybe
Yeah, and I
ways
don't
we
think there's a
can
lot of I
smooth the
don't think there's a lot of
process.
information out there about it, really. I
Oh,
mean, that's kind of like what we're tackling and looking at. Bobby and I have been talking about it, and because everyone's going to be impacted one time or another. Because there's so many spinal cord injuries out there, and everyone's dealing with different things, but we're all going to age somewhere,
yeah.
sometime. So I think it's important for topic to start bringing into the focus.
Hey,
You
happy
know,
birthday
Yeah.
to you, how I roll.
yeah.
Said you just turned 57 on the
Yeah,
7th.
Kelly.
Birthday month. Um,
That's why the Libras out there, we come in strong. So, the
I
one,
think Hip Crip had a birthday too.
yeah, I think you're
Because
I
he
think you did
posted something
mention.
on Instagram and I commented on it.
right.
So yo, shout out to the birthday month. Bunch of Libras out here. Um, it's cool.
But yeah,
Well,
one thing with aging is that we're living longer,
yeah,
and
Yep.
yeah,
and for your instincts too, Tom, is not now when you are hurt at such a young age, accessibility is getting better, and the equipment's better, the activities are better and so when you were a kid, you were off and rolling, and so
yeah,
now kids are living much longer in chairs with better cushions, better chairs, better health, better catheters, and
yeah.
so it's part of it, and we don't like we said, we don't talk about it. We talk about the pain and the aches and then go on our merry way, but yeah, it's something that we need to discuss, and what the ramification of that iceberg is. When you see that iceberg, it's just only a little top, but what's underneath is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
Good
mean, that's the
analogy.
conversation I had with my physiatrist recently because that my situation is a little unique in that like I've had 25 years of paralysis, even though I'm only 30 years old, and that those gravity like takes a toll on your body, when you're sitting down. Like my skeletal muscular structure has changed in that like my coccyx, like my tailbone is like very prominent, like my back, my scoliosis, like I sit funny, I sit curved, like my arms and my hands, change, my contractions, like been there, maybe like gotten a little worse over time as well. And I've been living my life a certain way, and now I gotta kind of address the reality that I can still be independent. I can still live my life, the way I want, but I maybe need to look at how I'm doing certain things, consider, some different ways I can maybe start tackling them to, take care of my body better, compensate for some of these changes that have started to present themselves a little bit more drastically, in the last year or two. But that's basically my update. And that life is, I'm moving and shaking. I feel busy and crazy all the time. Me and Shawnee Boy are trying to, and Bobby, and Brianna and Robert are really working to make some new cool content, try to do some things with Live to Roll for end of 2022 and 2023. And yeah, I got some other personal pursuits as well, but I don't want to drone on too much. Health wise, I'm doing pretty good right now. Bladder's always kind of iffy. I don't know if I'm gonna have to deal with some bladder stones again soon. I feel like maybe I get the side effects sometimes, and I feel okay. But I'm working on getting into some more meaningful urodynamics and tackling the bladder thing a little bit more heavily with some doctors too, rather than wait till the issue to present itself and then oh, what do I do now? Um, but that's kind of the mode I'm in, is just take care of myself. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, you guys. I think everybody in the chat knows. All the guys on here know. It can be a lot every day, and big part of that is staying active too, though. Like, I think that's a big part of like remaining healthy, is staying active. um, you know, whether it's work or, getting out and, like pursuing your hobbies and, getting up, getting in the sunshine, sitting outside for an hour, whatever it may be. Um, but I think that's what we're going to segue into a little bit, right? Is some of our favorite ways to stay active, get out and about, maybe have some fun in our chair too. In the chat, I want everybody to also tell us, do you guys do anything for adaptive recreation? If so, what do you do? I was out there with our buddy Luis this weekend, playing some over the line baseball, which was like a ton of fun. We could talk a little bit about like the Triumph Foundation. They do a lot of adaptive recreation stuff here in Southern California, but we got a lot of viewers from all over, national and international. So tell us if you do anything. Is it with any organization like USARC or anything like that? Um,
And
if
I was gonna just mention
not,
too, real quick. It doesn't have to be like sports recreation. Like you could be anything like just
fishing,
going on a
dancing.
picnic, fishing. Yeah,
Yep.
something
You
like that, like a
know,
stroll
like
hike with your family or something.
I just
All
like to go
kinds of
on
stuff.
walks. You
Yeah.
know, that can be just getting out, rolling through the neighborhood. Get some sunshine on my skin. It's not necessarily like a big workout athletic activity, but it still is recreation. It's still getting out and moving. And yeah, we had a really good time, except when you knocked us out in the finals, Lewis. But I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. Had to take me out on my birthday, bro. I'm just kidding. It was a ton of fun though. And I don't know, we feel spoiled out here. I feel spoiled out here in Southern California, having access to, the kind of organized recreation that we do, with all the equipment and stuff. And that's really a big, shout out and testament to Andrew and the whole Triumph Foundation team that goes through the efforts and gathers the volunteers. And let me tell you, it is no small effort. It is a monumental effort that, dozens of people, work and put a lot of time into. So, we're going to talk about some national organizations, though, that also deserve some recognition because they operate on an even larger scale and do a lot for lots of communities. And we want to highlight some of these in case maybe y'all are, close to some and don't even know it. Bowling's another really fun one, another one that I've been doing my whole life. If you go to any bowling alley, they will have the, what are they called? The
Yeah, the little
skids,
like
it's just like the assistive device that like lets you set the ball up to your level, and kind of aim it and push it, which can make bowling accessible and adaptive. It's super fun. It's honestly one of my favorite things to do, which I haven't done in a long,
uh,
long time.
Olivia also mentioned if anybody does billiards, plays pool. Um, and yeah, pool's another one. I used to like playing pool. It's fun
You got
for
the quad pool skills, Shawn?
I actually kind of do. So what I did for on the end of my handle, I actually used um, like I almost made like I made a grip on my old hockey stick that I used to make with like where it was like padded and like I just made it grippier. So I had like this
Yeah.
like I don't know if you guys probably didn't play hockey, but growing up when you played hockey, you would like do like
Wrap
this
it.
like
Yeah.
spiral, like so it had like a band that gave you like texture. But anyways, I did that to the handle, and then I could just basically balance the stick on my front, like on my finger enough to where I could do it. And then the shots I couldn't reach, I would use the bridge. So they have that bridge thing, and I could use the bridge and then like hold the other cue and like do like both of them like that. I wouldn't say I'm very good at it, but I can shoot pool and make
I've
balls
tried
in
a couple
holes.
times. I think like at a bar, like a couple times. There'd be a billiards table and my buddies would be playing. I'll try to take a couple shots, and the beers probably weren't helping the situation. But
Yeah.
I was always pretty crappy. But again, these are like normal billiard sticks. I feel like if I had a mind to like set it up in a better adaptive way, I could definitely give it a shot. But photography, cinematography too. It was like a big thing that I did when I was younger. Not so much anymore, which I really would love to get back into and uh, get my hands on cameras. But I am a little bit with Live to Roll. It's been fun. But I think photography, particularly, can be a really, really great, fun, cool recreation activity that gets you out too. Because you got to go shoot something. I used to do a lot of like wildlife cinematography, so my dad and I would take our cameras out to like the local wetlands, in the Bay Area, like surrounding areas, and go and try to capture some photos and video of birds and animals and all the creatures. And that was like so fun to get out just into nature, especially in the chair to like tackle that. It was like some of the greatest memories of my life. Are out there with my dad and my bro and my whole family, just cruising in the mud, going chasing after some birds and stuff like that. But hunting can be a really great, fun one as well. If
One
that's
thing,
your
if I
thing.
can say something about that, Tom.
Yeah.
Nowadays, with your phone, your iPhone, these cameras are built like 10 times better than 5 years ago of any high end camera, and
Yeah.
and with the editing that you can do nowadays, it can be so easy, and there's so many adaptive equipment out there for photography for our phones, and as well as regular photography if you're into the whole zoom and really getting into that high end photography. But there's a lot of equipment. Shawn has something on, just even he adapted something on his chair where he's able to put the tripod in there and easy have it on his chair. And, so with, our phones these days, it's so much easier to be a photographer than it ever was.
And like for real, like these cameras and stuff, they're so smooth, like they stabilize and stuff for you. That was always like my issue when I was younger. Like rolling with like a camera on my chair was like the bumps would just like make it look so shaky. And sometimes I could use some software to, maybe like stabilize it a little bit. But all these cameras and stuff do it for you now,
They now,
which,
yep.
like honestly make it a lot more accessible and easier because even holding it, like I'll get a little shake in my hands, but now it's not really an issue because it just takes care of it for me. Willie, I want to highlight your comment for a
I
second. He says
and
he
I was
raced
actually
his
gonna. I know
RC
Willie.
car.
I played rugby with him. He's actually like a like. He posts on Instagram, Facebook, like he's winning trophies at RC car races, like beating able-bodied people. Like he's not racing adaptive, nothing. Like he's
Yeah,
just got his rig set up and he's just smoking regular dudes at the track every weekend. So
that's
shout
super
out to
cool.
Willie.
RC is a super fun hobby. Not only for like getting out, with your cars, because you always got to take them out and get them in the mud. But I used to work on little RCs and stuff too, like the fine motor,
Yeah.
especially like for quads. Can be a real challenge, but also like a very gratifying thing. Something about putting little mechanical things together. Oh, at least for me. And again, this isn't for everybody, but we're trying to highlight a lot of different stuff, and maybe like some non-traditional things that
Well, yeah.
people don't realize or think about might be accessible.
And
It
I think that was the most important for us to definitely highlight some of those things that we think of that you know you can't do, in a group setting, with a disability. It's like my brother. He mountain bikes and then he plays on a softball team. It's two things that I'm not doing with him, but we have over the line, and then we have hand cycling. But then also I think outside the box and just like what with the photography and then I know Luis was mentioning bowling, which was a great one. And then even to the non-traditionals of like Toastmasters. I
Yeah.
do a Toastmasters speaking club. And so what you were saying about your friend Willie with RC and that he's racing against everybody able-bodied. And what I do with Toastmasters is I'm competing against everybody able-bodied. It doesn't matter about your disability. It just
Yeah.
matters about how
That's
you're going
right.
to deliver
That's
the
right.
speech or use that remote control car, remote for your RC car.
And
Yep.
it's so amazing too because it may not even seem uh, like exercise for your body, but like when I was a lot younger, I was very soft spoken. I had trouble projecting my voice and stuff, and like getting into speech classes and like having to get up in front of the class and like talk and speak and like learn to project my voice was like it. Honestly, it strengthened my diaphragm. Like it strengthened my respiration. It like made my cough stronger. Like it, made like my chest stronger and stuff. And it was like doing that for a couple semesters and like doing it regularly and getting up and like how to like perform and like sit with good posture and stuff. And not that like I didn't do that at times before, but it really made me very self-aware of like the muscles and like the activity that speaking or something like that could be. Which like I think for a lot of quadriplegics, can be super, super beneficial and important too. Not a lot, think of that as maybe necessarily like a recreation activity. The other thing that I did when I was younger, and again, not everybody's cup of tea, but my mom put me in like some improv classes, and
That's
just performing with others like in the class, and then like performing in front of people like on a stage, even if it's like a little small amphitheater or something. um, it not only like made me get over some like just insecurities like being up on stage in my chair in front of a bunch of people, but also just like projecting, moving your body and stuff, kind of using that as like a tool too to help you speak and help you be present. It was like very meaningful for me when I was a lot younger.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's
nice.
great, when you can really dig and get your thoughts about what is offered out there and all the way from what we said is bowling because it can go from being with your family all the way to where you can go to Vegas and, compete in the world championships of, disabled bowling tournaments or even regular if that's what you desire. But so we said something about pool to, another thing is horseback riding, which can
Yep.
be very therapeutic and people don't often think about horseback riding, but there are so many uh, adaptive horseback riding facilities out there because they definitely get into it for the children and special needs, and then it goes all the way up to where I one time went out and they're like, "How come you're not getting on?" I'm like, "Can I?" And they're like, "Yeah," and it was tough, man. I'll tell you. My abs were killing me at the end of the day, and I don't
It-
have any abs. So
Yeah.
and there's a lot of programs out there with the horseback riding, right? With people with
I think
disabilities and
there
things
are
like that,
quite a
right?
few.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I seem to see
Yeah,
like when I'm doing when I'm looking at resources and doing some resource information, there are a lot of horseback riding programs. And just like swimming, the swimming pools, everything has accessibility now to get in and out of the water. So that's made a big difference these days. And everywhere you can swim, all these different facilities are open to people with disabilities.
yeah.
Yeah, and swimming's a great activity just for health
Yeah,
and
it's just
just.
good exercise, just good
Mm,
therapy.
My another like since we're just kind of jumping around talking about some of our favorite ones, I've seen it several times in the comments. Video games, baby.
yeah.
Anybody that knows me knows I like my games, and I've been gaming my whole life. And I like I maybe I'm just saying this because I like to, but I swear, like competing against my brother and my sister and my dad who used to play with us. Um, like helped me develop a lot of my fine motor skills and my dexterity, like to a degree that I don't think I would have, like especially early on, if I wasn't like didn't have such a fun activity that like made me want to sit there and figure it out, like want to test like what I could do, with my hands, and want to like be at a level that I could like play, with my brother and beat him, and stuff like that. And I think it can be a really fun activity. I've played with a lot of quads for not a lot, a couple of quads for the first time after their injury, and not realize even how like well they could do, how easy it was to adapt, and especially now there's so many cool adaptive devices that make it easier, make it you know better time to play because you can play easier, but also keep your hands and your arms active too. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if you sit there and play for a couple hours and stuff, you're working a lot of your these muscles in your forearms and wrists, and tenodesis and things like that, like constantly engaging. And I feel like it's good
Like
for you. It's
all
better
up
than
in
just
your
sitting there
neck
not
area.
doing anything. Oh yeah,
It's
and I
hard.
do have to warn, like posture is one thing. Like, take your
Is that
breaks
why you
though
have that
in
lean?
the
It's
zone,
like
and
after an hour, you're like,
come out 6 hours later and be like, what the heck happened to all the time, and your neck's all hurting because you're hunched over the controller.
Well,
Take your breaks,
well,
sit upright, but that's about like setting it up, effectively for yourself too. I'll put a little pillow on my lap and stuff so I can, sit up comfortably, and because I don't like to, sit and think hard afterwards either. It makes me not want to play. What were you saying,
you know,
Robert?
a
one of the
funny.
other, go ahead.
No,
No, go
you
for it.
go,
Oh,
Robert.
I was just going to say, because I know Sharab, who is one of our members of the community, he is a big
Yep,
gamer as well, right?
yep.
And
Heck yeah.
he spends all hours of the night. He sleeps. His whole schedule
Yeah,
is based around his gaming, and he
I
has
know.
all this
the-
knowledge. I know you guys share knowledge and all that, but because I'm not much of a gamer, that's kind of. I mean, I like playing a few things here and there, but I'm not nowhere near what you guys do.
No, it's
yeah,
not like
Willie. I
Atari
really do
days.
want to hook up and play some games together. I want to try to do a little streaming here on the Live to Roll channel. We're going to do a little Live to Roll gaming, like maybe once a week for a couple hours. And I'm going to try to like bring a quad on or a pair, someone who does some kind of adaptive gaming in with me to play. And we'll try to just show off like how I do it in a little bit more detail, like have some fun, just hanging out, gaming. But if you're down to maybe stream with me too, Willie. But regardless, on this or offline, man, super down to hook up. I don't really play Call of Duty too much, but I could download it so we could jam together.
I think Olivia just said that great, and Sean has that up right now. Games activities are great. To focus off that pain. And I know one thing we talked about is that pain management and getting yourself involved in activities. And I think everything that we can name and everything that wow, sorry guys, we just had the biggest lightning go off right now.
I heard that.
That,
Oh
that
my
was crazy. That
goodness.
was
I
loud.
Are
know,
you
dang.
you guys
So
okay? Oh
Is
my
is
goodness.
it
so
raining out there,
It
Bobby?
scared me
oh,
for a second.
I mean, it's a
Oh
little
boy.
cloudy, but not bad.
Yeah, I
We're
thought it was
live,
low
baby.
flying. I thought it was a low flying jet or something.
Like,
Yeah,
Jeez.
Hey.
that was.
and I know in the chat everyone's like, "Oh, it's just lightning," but here in California, we do not get this. Nothing like what you just heard. So
Yeah.
that was crazy. Um, I don't even know what I was talking about, but yeah, keeping with activities and staying off that pain, that is a main
Yeah.
focus.
It's a great distraction. Yep.
One quick like little story. We used to the sport group I used to have this guy come in. I mean, he had the backlymph and pump pain meds up to the highest level. Just always come in and just kind of be the downer of the group with his pain management, and just like, oh, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. Finally, he got involved with pool, and he was shooting pool, and he was telling us like, oh, I met some people. Now I'm playing pool once a week. Now it was twice a week. And every time he came in, he would start talking about his pain. But then when we asked him about his pool, he was just like all into it. And then I would go, so when you play pool, how's your pain? He's like, well, I don't have it. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, so instead of laying around and thinking about and talking about your pain all day, why don't you lay around and talk about pool and things that are enjoyable instead of things that are not enjoyable.
And I tell you, I think it's one of the coolest inventions of the 21st century is like being able to like talk with your buddies online, and like that's my favorite thing to do. And I'll tell you what, it's like the craziest, like best distraction is just hop online with my buddies for a couple hours, do some gaming. Like I won't even feel what's going on with my back or my shoulders or my neck or
Yeah.
anything because I'm just like
Yep.
hanging out with my buds, even though I'm in my home. Which sometimes I'm not able to get to the Friday night hang, or like I just don't have the energy or not feeling good enough to get up and get out. But it's still a way to hang, connect,
Yep.
distract yourself,
Definitely.
from whatever might be bugging you or making you not feel so good. And all it takes is a console, computer, and an internet connection, which generally pretty easy to come by. And Nicole, no shade, Super Mario, NES, like classics are all good. Whatever floats your boat. My girlfriend, she likes to play those old style games too. Like that's her favorite. So totally,
That
totally
that would be
understand.
my style. Like if I'll play some Mario Brothers for sure.
Pac-Man, Super Mario Bros. Keep it,
Well,
keep it
I
simple.
mean, literally every morning I wake up, I play the same game for an hour. I've been playing for like 3 years, called the Hill Climber 2 on my iPad, and it's just you have all these different cars, and it's not even like that exciting of a game. I just like into it, and I'm on a team and everything, and like we finally made it up to like the highest level of our team. So it's just like every hour I just do my what are they called, the quest for the day, and all my
Yep.
coins I can get for the hour, and then I'm done. So definitely
What,
nothing to
what,
shame.
Bobby? What about Poker Stars? Are you still doing any of those online gaming
Oh
with
yeah,
that?
and that, I know that poker was a big part of my life, and Poker Stars now is not available here in the states unless you're in Jersey or Nevada, and I think Pennsylvania, which sucks. And um, good old government telling us what we can and can't do. But yeah, I mean, so I still play for free, and I have my account up to over 100 million, but it's all
Bobby,
it's free
well, we'll hook
coins,
you up.
and
We'll hook you up with a VPN, dude. We can spoof your location. This
yeah,
is all
it's,
alleged, by the way. This is
I've
alleged.
read I've
It's
read
Allegedly.
some.
not.
There are ways around it, but I've also read some bad where people get pretty busted pretty bad. So I'm
Yeah,
not wanting to
I'm
get
not
like that.
advocating anybody spoof your IP and
Yeah.
do any illegal gambling out there.
And I stopped, and for a long time I haven't been going to work, or I was working for all day long. But now that I'm semi-retired, it's one thing that I'm going to go back and start doing the casinos. We have some good poker casinos here that you would
Oh,
actually see on
I
TV.
might
So
start meeting you there, Bobby.
let's go. Whatever's right in between us, Shawn, we'll meet up. So yeah, I'd love to play some poker, and that definitely for hours, man. I can, I
It's
like tournament style. So, and my game is built to last, and I'm not a very aggressive, and I just want to get to the money, and then
that's
eventually I
I have
make.
a very similar style, Bobby. So yeah, I
These
don't know.
guys are all
But let's
dangerous.
play.
We gotta plan the live to roll poker night.
We
I
are
don't
gonna. That
know.
is actually
I'm
gonna be
gonna be
coming. We are gonna be doing one of those at some point
I
in the
gotta be
future.
I gotta be careful playing with these guys. Um,
Uh,
but also in the realm of the virtual, like especially since COVID, adaptive exercise is more readily available online, demonstrating and giving you tips, techniques on how to do all this in your home, uh, behind a camera, like in front of a camera with other people, or the camera off if you don't want it. Like that's my thing. I'll just turn the camera off and I'll go along with the exercise. But I'll tell you what, like especially working out with a group of people can just be incredibly motivating, make you feel a lot better. Everyone's there with you doing it. It can make you, work out longer, work out harder, be more into it. I really, really advise, getting into like a group setting if, you're able to, if that's your thing. We can highlight a couple of these. Staying driven, which our buddy Paul is in the chat earlier, is a coach for. Bobby is going to be coaching again once he's back and healthy after dealing with all this gosh darn stuff. And Staying Driven is really amazing, adaptive online fitness program that you can do from the comfort of your own home. And then Shawn also has done a lot of videos demonstrating quadriplegic workouts for Zook Fitness. So shout out Zook Fitness as well. And
And
just because
that's
we got to, and it's an important, fun one, Wonders on Wheels.
I was gonna say, let's shout out
Yeah,
Justin too,
our buddy
because he's
Justin, in their program, they have an online adaptive exercise class, but they also, which is way more fun than you think it'll be. At least for me, I'm not much of a dancer, but they have like a dance class too, where you just kind of dance along with it. And I'll tell you what, dude, after doing 2 of those songs at the Abilities
it's a
Expo, like
workout.
my shoulders and my arms were burning. So like it's for real, and it was a whole lot of fun just dancing along with him. And again, it just kind of
Yeah,
distracts you. You don't even feel like you're working out. You kind of just feel like you're doing this activity, with some friends, kind of just going along, doing your thing. And before you know it, you're feeling it. But it feels good because it feels good
and
to
yeah, it's
exercise.
just about getting blood flowing, getting moving,
Yep.
staying active. So
Well,
Yeah.
and here's something for a left curve. And I met this gentleman at the expo, and he actually came up to us at the LA expo again when I recognized him because I was going to do it, but then COVID hit, and I never did it. But he's right down the street, but he teaches drums, and so learning an instrument, and I'm thinking like I've always wanted to play the guitar, and if I can, play one instrument, it would be learning the guitar. I'm like so jealous. My brother is doing it, and he's learned, and he's on YouTube all day with his guitar, and I'm just like, oh, but
Does
I can learn.
anybody does anybody in the chat play an instrument?
Yeah, I would love to hear. But yeah, so I mean, once things go back on track, I'm gonna definitely be doing the. Is your house on fire, Tom?
No, nope, it's not on fire. Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. Allegedly, there was something.
Like that's on the corner of my eye.
Move on.
Sorry.
Nothing's
I
on fire.
should know what that is. That was like so dumb. Of me.
Everything's okay.
For Robert and I, we're like a little slow. We're a little bit older after 50. You become a little slower at that kind of
There's
stuff.
definitely just a
yeah.
humidifier like off to the side of my room. Don't worry about it, anybody. The wind caught it. Let's
Your house
just
on
say
fire.
that.
Your house on fire. Hey, Bobby, getting back to what you were saying about playing a guitar and things like that. I don't, I got a piano. This was right at when the pandemic, kicked off, and I just figured I was going to spend my time playing guitar, playing piano. I always kind of wanted to learn that. I did it for a little while. I do not have the discipline anymore to do it, or the patience. I don't, know if it comes with the aging piece or me just kind of getting lazy nowadays. But I didn't have the discipline. And what the problem is, and you want to play good, you want to play well, too fast, and I just don't have the patience for that.
I can see that. Yeah, I'd see that with me playing the drums. I'd be like, no, unless I can.
I started out fine.
Or something like that,
yeah, I was all eager. I go, yeah, here we go, and then I started doing these little exercises and stuff. But my hands don't have the dexterity like they used to, and just things like that. But yeah, I kind of fell short, and I don't usually give up on things like that. But that one I kind of brushed aside.
I've really been into music my whole life too. I used to play the xylophone in like the school band, like way early in my life, and that was fun. It was like a cool little instrument. But piano has like always really fascinated me. It's been a little like defeating to have to deal with these quad paws. But like a electronic keyboard. I mean, heck, even you can do it on like an iPad and stuff now. Sit there with like a little MIDI board and stuff, and do very similar stuff, if not like classical or traditional. Hip Crip says he plays guitar and he wants to figure out how to play slide guitar. Like I know of this band called Robert Randolph and the Family Band, and the guy plays like the slide guitar like nobody's business. One of the coolest instruments I've ever seen. So if you do get into that, Hip Crip, I'd love to talk to you about how you do it.
Especially, it's got to be a lot easier on your lap, doing that slide guitar.
Well, there's lots of cool instruments that you can access and that are accessible. Again, this is like a very technical task, playing an instrument, any instrument. But just because it is technical doesn't mean it can't be learned. It can be adapted. Because I know of a lot of quad musicians out there, para musicians. We have a buddy Toby, who's an amazing singer and does
Yeah.
like performances and stuff. And I don't know,
I
he
think he even
sings. I've
plays the
seen videos.
harmonica, doesn't it? Somehow,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah,
adapted.
I was just
Like,
yeah, my and actually my mom got me a harmonica one year, and for a quad, it's
I
tough, and
played
it actually
harmonica.
it helps with
In
your
high
lung
school, my
capacity.
buddies got me one, and I played with them for a while, and it was a little bit of a exercise. I mean, anything like that, but for real, once you get into it, if you're sitting there huffing and puffing, it really is a task.
Yeah.
And then also trying to hold it after a while, you're just like, oh man, you need. I was always like, I need to get one of those things like
yeah,
Bob
around your
Dylan.
head.
Yeah,
That's
around the neck that hangs in front. Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
when
But I've always liked music. It's just I don't have the patience to play an instrument. That's me.
I've
Quad
seen,
Life's playing Guitar Hero. There you go. Start somewhere.
hey,
Yeah.
Guitar Hero is great. When I see Toby sing
That's
and
gaming.
perform, like it just trips me up because, like, I've done some karaoke, and you get me in a karaoke bar, like I'll be singing, all night. But
All
like
right, we're
if
taking Tom to
like
karaoke.
if I'm
Yeah,
performing,
there you
like
go.
I'll get so
Live.
winded and so tired from like just singing, projecting my voice like that because it's such an exercise. Like seeing him perform is just so impressive. But again, like practice, practice, practice. Like anything, you take the time to learn it and get good. You'll be able to have the
For
endurance
any,
for it.
for anybody wanting to look up Toby's band, it's called Citizen, and I believe you can find him on YouTube and look him up.
I
He's
think
also an actor as well,
he
so
is.
you'll see him. You see him in different shows, and he's got a movie out that I can't think of that's on my head. So,
What's
Luis,
the
if
name
you
of the band?
Citizen.
Citizen,
And I think it's spelled
Citizen.
with a Y though, isn't it? Like or something like that.
yeah, it's
Okay.
spelled different.
All right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And yeah,
But you can
we've had Toby on the show. He's a friend of the show. He's been on talking about acting and
he came on
performing
about acting. We
before.
got to have him on again for some other stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, this
Um,
guy, he like performed at all kinds of
yeah, he
big
just did a
Hollywood
show at the
events.
Troubadour here in
Yeah,
Hollywood for like a big disability
there you
cool
go.
event thing.
Luis
But I was
just put
gonna
it up.
shout out some of the chat stuff. Olivia mentioned Dave and Buster's has an 8-player Pac-Man table that's big enough for chairs too, and
Nice.
so that sounds like it could be kind of cool. And yeah, we do have one near here, so field trip. And
yeah.
then
Anybody local, we do gotta do the little
Tommy
troll
mentioned
factor.
throwing a blackjack party at his house, so we may have to do that for all our SoCal Valley people. Tommy,
Send out
but
the
yeah.
invite.
Yeah, so as we approach the end of the show, it's kind of just like what Robert said a minute ago. The challenge with a lot of these things is, just like getting out and staying active in general. It's like if it doesn't really catch your interest, you're gonna not have the motivation to keep on doing it. If music's not your thing, then obviously like learn how to play an instrument, maybe do that like isn't your thing. We tried to cover a lot of bases, some kind of like non-traditional, recreation stuff, like just highlight some of the things that we like to do. But the big thing is finding out what you like to do. Thank you so much, everybody,
Exactly.
for like sharing all of like what you do. Seems like y'all are some active, awesome, amazing people out there. We appreciate you highlighting that because whatever it is, that's it. Even if we didn't talk about it, art is like one thing that we didn't talk about. Like painting and drawing and that fine motor activity, but also
That's
muscle activity if you're painting and having to sit there and like hold a paintbrush and work on a canvas or something, or like get your hands in some clay. Um, there's so many different ways to get active. Once you find your thing, it's really easy to kind of stay after it too because you just want to keep on doing it.
Hey,
We
cooking's a
really
good cooking. Just
yeah,
trying to eat healthy,
yeah.
yeah.
cooking for your
That
that
is a
that's
good
good.
hobby.
Yeah, we
So
do.
here's what I here's and these are just 25 that or 23 actually, but name them off real quick. Singing, go to the movie theater, attending a sporting event, take a scenic stroll, have a picnic, a museum. We didn't get into museum, aquarium, and zoos. One thing my wife and I like to do, checking out the local farmers markets, and they're
Yeah.
everywhere. So definitely looking at that with some good food. Throw a social event like Tommy's going to do a blackjack for us. Start a collection. Don't do that. No, no, because like I've done that a couple times and now I don't know what to do with all this shit. Bowling, archery, photography, horseback riding, go to the pool, hand cycling, pottery, paint, draw. So easy, especially now with iPads. Uh, Somebody put music glove. It's like a glove, and you can play the
That thing looked weird. I saw that on the list.
playing instrument, cooking
That's
that Rob
kind of
just
the
brought
stuff that
up.
I was talking about earlier. Is there's lots of non-traditional instruments that are kind of more adaptive now that can make something traditional accessible.
And
Yeah,
music glove from the picture, it kind of looks like a glove for your fingers if you have some dexterity, and it's almost like a Guitar Hero. It looks like on the screen where you're having to
yeah.
like hit each finger to like hit the key. So a good therapy and fun. But yeah, go
And
ahead.
then
Sorry, Bobby.
yeah, card games, what we said, Jenga, board games, love board games, and then gardening. And then, it was funny. We've had a bunch of people that we can even just throw in there. One, drawing a blank on his name, Shawn, our Lego guy. He's like a professional
Oh,
Lego builder.
Spencer. That's right.
Spence, shout out
Spencer,
Spence.
yeah, dude, he builds some awesome Lego stuff, and that's one that's collecting and a hobby because
Yeah.
that is dexterity and
And it's
yeah,
so
that's
serious activity. I used to do a lot of like dabble in a lot of Legos, and I'll tell you what, like that you put in some handwork,
Oh,
building a little like and not so little things. Some of the stuff that Spencer does is like absolutely wild.
huge.
And
Yeah.
we're talking hundreds of hours probably into, like his Legos, if not more. It's cool though. It's amazing.
No, it's awesome.
it
Yeah.
is. And, when you get into a lot of these things, you find the get into the social aspect, that
Yeah.
would definitely, broaden your horizon, get you out of the house more and talking with more people. It's so
Yeah.
frustrating, I think, for the four of us when we meet somebody and says, I just don't do a lot. There's not a lot of things to do around here, and I get it. There are some people in some really small towns, and, my sister's mom lives in a community of 52 people, and you know luckily there's nobody who's disabled like when I go visit, but it's just there's something to do down the street
And-
or get involved like with the
yeah.
internet and getting online and talking with others and learning something new
Yeah.
each
Or
and
even
every
that,
day.
even just getting out and socializing, getting out, getting your confidence built up, and you just kind of turning people on to say, hey, we're regular people too, and just being outdoors and just being around people. I mean, that's a big benefit for yourself, and it just kind of turns people on to how we are.
Yeah, it's like a big part of like just the mental health aspect too. Like,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a big part of staying healthy is staying mentally healthy. And there's few things that can make you feel good or be as good for your mental health as like getting into a group with like some like-minded people and sharing in something that you all enjoy together because you end up with new friends. You end up just spent good time, well spent. And I'll tell you what, like if you go in there, honest, about yourself and about your interests and stuff. Like no group is gonna turn you away because of your disability. I like promise you that. If I mean again, like the world is crazy, but I promise you, go out there and put yourself out there, especially with some like-minded individuals. Don't let the wheelchair, whatever your device or situation might be a hindrance to that because it's not going to be something that they see or like want that stop them from having you be a part of the group or engaging in whatever the activity is. So just please motivate yourself. We're giving you some motivations to support too if you maybe are trepidatious about getting out there and joining some of these groups, doing stuff like that, because I know how I've been in the past. As outgoing and social as I can be, it's anxiety going to, meet new people and do new and different stuff can be difficult to overcome, even for, someone who's a social butterfly, because of the stuff we got to deal with. But, I promise I've never encountered a situation that I regretted, and, you know, going
I
there,
think if you show up
positivity and love.
somewhere with a good attitude and ready to have a good time, people will embrace that and
Yeah,
have a good time
Yep.
with you.
Positive.
So
The positivity.
that's it. That's
And,
it.
yeah, absolutely. And then once you're in, you're in. Like, I was
Yeah.
like shy around my Toastmasters group, and now 10 years later, I've been president twice, and I pretty much run the club half the time. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, here I was in a group of 50 people, and now I'm on top. And
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with the disabled community. It has nothing. It just has something where I want to go out and meet new
Yeah.
people, and because our members are always constantly, some are leaving and some are joining. I'm meeting new people all the time, and then all of a sudden now I got people in the community I know more and more. So going out and to your local grocery store, and you're like, oh hey, Sherry, how's it going? And you're like, oh yeah, yeah. So it's just great to meet
And
people.
Yeah. Just be
one
out
of
there.
the things that we hear a lot in the comments and just talked a lot about is there's just not a lot of stuff in my area, not a lot of stuff locally. It doesn't like a lot of the stuff we talk about isn't necessarily adaptive recreation activities, but activities you can adapt to and be a part
yeah.
of. So, be that first domino that falls and hits the other domino that starts, the whole, bunch of them get knocked over. Because very often, if you get out there, you're the first person in the chair that's doing something. Maybe someone else in the group is aware of, a friend or a family member or someone else who's in a chair that, didn't even realize they could get out there and do that too. I'm telling you, like, it can be very often, inspiring to others to, get out there. We have some friends in Canada that started, a group just like that, where it was one, then two, then five, then a dozen, then, that's how it can be. And it sounds, like maybe like, I promise I'm not making it up. It can be really cool to see someone out there, doing something different and be like, hey, I know a few other people that want, maybe could do this too and be a great benefit. So get out there, get active.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
We
Olivia, thank you so much. I
appreciate
think
you
that
so
was
much for the
for you
support,
guys,
Olivia.
apparently, for the birthday love for the fellows.
No, I
But yeah,
appreciate you.
appreciate.
And I
Always,
think
Olivia.
she asked earlier when my birthday was. It was, or how old I was. It was 51, Olivia, if you missed that. So,
I
but
knew
thank
that
you.
too. I didn't want to say it though. Because you turned 50 last year. I was like, I know his age.
You guys are just pups.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Tom says
we're
his age. I'm
chasing you.
like,
We're chasing
it's
you
always
down,
that,
Robert.
man. I've been hurt longer than he's been alive. That's always the.
Yeah, really.
yeah, that is pretty wild.
Then you know what? The years go fast too. I mean, it seems like for a while, then all of a sudden, when you a little bit, you start aging piece, and the years just fly by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Enjoy life.
I was just having this conversation, about like time. Because, it does feel like that, especially the older you get. But everybody remember, time's just perception. We're all perceiving it differently in our own way. Embrace the present, live in the moment. Be grateful and thankful for the positive and the good things you got. Count your blessings, and don't worry about things slipping away too fast, because it's just wasted time worrying about the future. Embrace what you got going now, and make sure you're feeling good. Got some love and
You
some
got it.
positivity in your life.
Right on.
Absolutely, Shawn. You get better. Get, like I said, get that sleep, get that water, and feel
Yeah,
better.
we're
And
trying
I
to take
hope,
it easy the next couple days here, so
Yeah. Just get
back
rest.
to.
and if there's
Absolutely.
something that for those who are watching this later and something that we didn't mention, hit us up. Let us know. Maybe we'll feature you if you have something unique. And you
And
just
drop
never
it
know.
in as a comment too for people to see later on the video if people are watching. So you can leave it in the comments, and everybody else can check out and see. So that helps everybody.
Absolutely, and
Uh,
we appreciate everybody in our chat sharing all you guys did today. It's my favorite part of the show is interacting with you guys and hearing what y'all are doing out there. Because yeah, it's awesome, super cool. So I appreciate you guys,
so
and
let's just
we will
let's thank our sponsors real quick one more time before we wrap up here.
Mobility
And
Pros.
we've actually been rocking Robert's been rocking the hat the whole show, if you guys didn't notice. And that's not
Yeah.
a paid sponsorship. That's just because he represents, because we're all friends, like we were saying. But anyways, go ahead, Tom, dude.
Our buddies at Mobility Pros, they will help you out with your rehabilitation equipment needs, wheelchairs, standing frames, other similar devices. They will get you taken care of, work with your insurance, and help you out. And same with all your professionals. Nobody should struggle getting catheters. It's something that is approved by the insurance and is covered by every insurance if you are a pair or a quad or in a chair and require it. So make sure you're getting what you need, and Urology Professionals is the company that will get you what you need, and do the work, you know, with you and your insurance to, help facilitate, and they know how to navigate and get you over the obstacles and the hurdles that unfortunately do make it kind of hard these days to get you what you need. But they'll make it a lot easier. So give them a call and let them know Live Terrell sent you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to our sponsors. Very appreciative of them. So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, we really are thankful for their support this year, because they were the reason why we were able to travel to the Abilities Expos. And actually, real quick, I remember early in the chat, I don't know if How I Roll is still here, Kelly, but you asked if we're going to the LA Expo next year, and yeah, for sure we'll be at the LA Expo. That's the one that we'll
Hometown.
definitely be
We'll
doing.
be getting
And
drinks and
yeah,
dinner after, so make sure you
yes.
attend.
But yeah, thank you all
Live
for watching.
Yeah, Robert, thank you for joining
Yeah,
us
thank you,
today. We're really
Robert.
Oh,
looking to
And
get
thank you.
folks
No,
rolling
thanks
over
for
the
having
hill.
me. I enjoyed it.
I
And
think somebody
peace and
else
love,
also
everybody.
asked when you guys' show was, and it's the Rolling Over the Hill show, and the first week should be, I think,
It's
October
October 27th. So yeah,
27th, so the
Roy,
fourth
we're
Thursday.
going to be. Roy was asking that earlier. October 27th. We're going to be at 3 o'clock, rolling over the hill. It's just a half an hour, talking about aging with disability and aging with spinal cord and all that fun stuff. We'll have some guests. Sometimes we'll just talk about the necessary needs of protecting your body, and
Yep.
something that all of us did not do as well as we probably should have,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of us
I
don't
got
do on
one
a
right,
daily basis.
one right here.
So, yeah, when you're young, you think you're invincible, but then
Yeah,
all of a sudden
no
it
doubt.
comes up.
No doubt. Feeling it now.
So, yeah, so that'll be awesome. You guys looking forward to getting that going here. And yeah, thank you guys. Brianna will be back also with the women's show the third week of the third Thursday. And pretty much the women's show and the Rolling Over the Hill show will be every other Thursday. So should be lots of content for you guys. So keep coming back, checking us out. Make sure you're subscribed. Click that bell for notifications. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching,
All
everybody.
right. See you guys.
Peace, everybody.
Take care.
Take care.
Live to roll.